In this video, I would love to tell you guys a little bit more about the preventive measures that have been put in place to make sure that you are protected, first of all. But most importantly, I would love to share with you guys a few tips that you can apply to make sure that you are protected and you feel safe when you're walking inside a clothing store. Hey guys!
For real?
My name is Marinelle. I'm a fashion stylist. Welcome or welcome back to a Stylist Tips and Tricks. As many businesses are slowly reopening their doors, so are the clothing stores, the shoe stores. There are three groups of people. There are one group of people, they are itching to go inside a store. They're excited to the idea of finally visiting a clothing store again, of finally hanging out with their boys, with their girls, taking a walk downtown and walking inside whatever store is open. There is another group of people, they are on the fence. They just don't feel safe. Now there is a last group of people. For them, it is a no. Matter of fact, they don't even feel like it is safe to leave their house to go walk the dog or to go to the park. They only go to the grocery stores, or matter of fact, they order their groceries online. There are a group of people, they don't plan on going inside a store for a little while. They're gonna stick to online shopping. To be honest with you guys, I am part of the last group. I am scared. I've always been scared anyways, even going inside a grocery store. In this video, I would love to tell you guys a little bit more about the preventive measures that have been put in place to make sure that you are protected, first of all, but also the employees inside the stores are protected as well. But most importantly, I would love to share with you guys a few tips that you can apply to make sure that you are protected and you feel safe when you're walking inside a clothing store. Before I start sharing my tips with you guys, I know for a fact that there are many people out there who are wondering, can the virus linger long enough for me to catch it on a specific fabric? And the answer is, we don't know. The truth is, there isn't enough research that has been completed to strongly say yes or to strongly say no. Now, there are many tests that have been done on most common surfaces, but when it comes to fabrics, unfortunately, not so much. When it comes to the preventive measures that have been put in place, 90% of the retailers, hell, 99% of the retailers, they have been able to put in place strict preventive measures to make sure that you're protected and their employees are protected. Example, many retailers, unfortunately, they cannot fill 100% of the store's capacity. They can only fill 50% of the store's capacity. Also, the fitting room, it is the same thing. Some stores, their fitting rooms are closed, unfortunately. When others, they will let you go in and try on the clothing. But if they have 10 rooms, unfortunately, 5 rooms will be open because there have to be 1 room empty between 2. They have to sanitize their cash register. They have to sanitize the fitting room after somebody leaves the fitting room before someone else walk inside the room. They also have to make sure that you sanitize your hands before walking inside the stores. You sanitize the door handles if you actually have to touch the door to get in. Oh, also there are some stores that the mask is mandatory, unfortunately. So make sure that you do have a mask with you. You have to hold on to a clothing that was returned for a minimum of 24 hours. Maximum it can be 72, 48 hours. And last but not least, from what I know, there are many stores who don't let you try on accessories anymore. All the accessories that goes near your face, it can be headband, it can be jewelries, it can be sunglasses. You are not allowed to no longer try it. This can be a little bit discouraging if you want to see what the item looks like on you. Does it look good? If it doesn't look good, but unfortunately you're not allowed to try them, and you are also not allowed to return them. It is not a good moment for you to buy accessories, let's say. Even though there are some preventive measures that have been put in place, that doesn't mean that you guys are not supposed to do the work. You also have to do your part. You also have to do whatever it takes to make sure that you are protected. With that being said, let's get to the tips that I want to share with you guys today. My first advice to you guys is make sure that you have plenty of time. Make sure that you have time on your hands. Make sure that you don't go shopping 2 or 3 hours before whatever events that you're buying that dress for. As I mentioned earlier, a store, they are not going to fill 100% of their capacity. They are going to fill maybe 50%. To be honest with you guys, some store less than 50%. So there will be a waiting line outside, and there will be a waiting line to try on the clothing. There will be a waiting line at the cash register. Please make sure that you do have a lot of time. If the event start at 4, let's say, please go shopping at 11 or at 12. 11 the latest. If you finish early, then good. Go take a walk. Go back home to do your makeup. Do your makeup in the car. Go eat something. Go do something, but make sure that you do have plenty of time. Tip number 2, make sure that there is a certain distance between you and the person in front of you. Now, the person behind you, that's their job to make sure that there's a certain distance between them and you. The person is in front of you is the person that you're supposed to watch out for. So make sure that there is at least 2 meters. The virus is easily spread through primarily spread, let's say, through tiny droplets that are expelled because someone is coughing, sneezing, or spitting while they're talking. Those droplets are not going to travel a pretty big distance. It's not gonna land on you, but they might land on a specific clothing on their left or a specific pair of shoes on their right. Therefore, my third tip will be make sure that you touch everything with gloves on. Disposable gloves will be the best so that you can just take it off and put it in the trash can. I know it's gonna be a headache to hold on to everything with the gloves, especially that you have to take them off when you're touching your own wallet. Also, make sure that you do have your own sanitizing products and your mask. Most of the store, they are going to require that you do sanitize your hand before walking inside. But the thing is, I don't know if whatever sanitizing product that you have is 90% of made of 90% of water and 10% of alcohol, because that's the mix that you decided to do because you're cheap. I don't know. Have your own sanitizing product. Also, make sure that you do have it with you all the time to sanitize your hand right after touching something. I'm not going back to the entrance to sanitize my hand again after I don't touch a pair of shoes. I'm not going back to the entrance to sanitize my hands. So I want to make sure that I have things with me. The fourth tip that I want to say is make sure you follow the sign. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If there is a specific clothing that I want right there, it's like it's like a few steps away from me. It's like right over there. But I'm looking at the signs, and the signs say, "Oh, you cannot go on that direction. You have to make a U-turn, go in the back so you can go in the correct direction in the aisle." Guys, I'm too lazy for that. Old me would be stubborn. I would be a pain in the ass, and I would rather run to that item and then walk out, but this time following the right direction. Walk out with the item. Don't be that person. Don't be the old me. Be the new me, and make sure that you follow all the signs. Just, out of respect for everybody. Another tip that I want to share is learn how to shop with your eyes. I know many of us, when we find something that we like, we tend to take the clothing and to analyze everywhere. Like, we're touching, we're looking, we're making sure that there's no button missing, that there's no stain, that everything looks good. Yes, it is something that you should still do, but you can also learn how to do it properly with your eyes. You can touch the clothing, pull it out just a little bit, and just take your time to look around. Just look at if there are a button missing, is there a stain somewhere, is there a loose thread. Just take the time to look at everything without touching everything. When trying the items, when trying on the clothing, the outfit, here's a few tips. Pull out the top to make sure that the item is nowhere near your face. Make sure that your eyes are fully closed, and also make sure that your mouth is closed. And by closing your mouth, I mean if you can, sanitize the fitting room before you walk inside that room, or sanitize the surfaces that you know you're going to touch in that fitting room, or avoid touching the walls, avoid touching everything. If there is a surface that you know for a fact you're going to touch a lot, for example, the rack where you're supposed to hang the clothing, just sanitize only that specific part, and you are good to go. There are going to be new policies in each and every stores. One of them is going to be you're not allowed to try on the accessories, any accessories that are going near your face. And another policy that will probably change are the return policies. Educate yourself on the new policies of that store. Make sure that you ask the right question, and after somebody tells you, "Oh yeah, you can return this," it's not gonna cost you to go on the website to verify everything that she says, just in case she or he are giving you the wrong information. So make sure that you do your part and that you educate yourself. Pay with a credit card will be another advice, because you don't want to touch the change that somebody's gonna hand back to you. Also, have your own plastic bag, just because you don't want to touch the bag that the person is giving you as well, especially if the person is not wearing any gloves. Next tip that I want to share, which is actually my last tip: plan your shopping trip accordingly. If you know, for example, that you are going for a specific style, that you're looking for a specific item, if that company actually has a website, go on the website, take a look at the collection that they have. Whenever you found what you want, take a screenshot, take the SKU number of the product, so that when you walk inside the store, you can be like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. It's gonna be good for you because you're gonna not waste your time. Another reason why I think it is good to plan your shopping trip accordingly is just because of the people waiting outside. Don't be that annoying person. If you're going there, don't waste your time. Don't linger around. If you have something specific in mind, just ask someone, hey, I'm looking for that specific item. Or take a picture. Do you have something similar to that? Or describe the clothing. The annoying person lingering around the store for hours while there are people waiting outside hoping that they get a chance to get in before the store closes. So there you go, guys. My 500 tips at this point. I wanted to share a few tips to make you feel like, hey, I can still visit the store, but I need to be careful with this, I need to be careful with that, I need to do this and that. If you do have a tip and a trick that you would love to share with us, something I did not mention, please write it in the comments. Like I said, let's connect with each other, let's help each other, share it with us. With that being said, I will see you guys in another video.